Hello, I have this beautiful soul, Jodi, with me here today. Can you please tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me. Um, I am Jodi Jackson, and I am a manifestation life coach and a Reiki healer. And yeah, I just love anything healing, anything to do with energy. I've always felt as long as I can remember, I can't say always, but as long as I can remember, I have felt energy, but for a long time I never even knew what it was. And when I finally did figure out what it was, um, researched what to do with it. And now I feel like I am gifted and blessed and get to meet wonderful people like you and find the rest of our tribe. And it's just wonderful.
Thank you so much, Jodi. You're so sweet. Yeah, you said something about you have been taking your coaching study. Can you please tell me who and what you did and how you got there, please?
Sure, sure. Um, so I saw Jay Shetty, if any of you know who that is, on television, and he was doing some meditations and like for 3 weeks straight. And I thought, wow, this is a great idea. I don't know who you are. I've never heard of you, but this is right up my alley. And so I did these meditations with him daily, not in person, but like this on Zoom. And I got to know him a little bit and learn his values. And I really fell in love with the guy. And we have a lot of the same values. He really calls to me. And it just so happened that he was starting his own certification life coaching school. At the time, was looking for something different. I was a hairdresser and I was looking for something different. And it just seemed like the timing was right. And I'm all about embodiment and listening to your body more than your mind. And it felt right. So I did it. So I went to the Jay Shetty Certification School, met amazing people, found more of my tribe in that world. And yeah, I became a life coach. And then you have to find your niche, and there's so many out there. And people were saying, well, who are you? What is you anyway? And I thought, well, I'm so much into energy and I use energy to give myself a nice life, to get a lot of what I want, whether it be big things or small things. I just kind of learned how to do that naturally. So I thought, yeah, I should probably be the kind of coach that I'm something that I'm good at and know how to do from A to Z already. So yeah, I chose a niche of manifestation and I've been loving it. Coaching is really a healing modality, like Reiki. And yeah, so here I am, manifestation coach and Reiki healer. And you know what? I'm about to lose these. So I'm going to take them off. Um, so hopefully you could hear me. So yeah, so I just started doing the manifestation thing and it's been great. I love it. It was the right thing to do. Everyone was saying, do what you're good at, do what you know. So yeah, here I am, and it's been wonderful.
Thank you for sharing. So lovely. Can you please tell me then what you do daily to keep up your mental health in check?
It's a great question, because it's not always
easy. We're always a work in progress, right? No matter who we are. So doing something daily really keeps us in check. It helps with accountability. That said, I have to keep myself in check. I have to admit, I don't do everything daily. It's a challenge with schedules. And so when I do it, which fortunately is more times than not, I get myself to, I love the meditation. I've always wanted to do the yoga thing, you know, everything is yoga, 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 but it's not as much me. And I think I have a want for it than more than I actually want to do it. So I stick to what I know and what I do best. And so that's more the meditation. And I actually do something else called PQ, if you've ever heard of it. It's like an positive intelligence is what it is. And it makes you realize, it puts you in the present, and it makes you realize what you're thinking right now. And for me, it helps me realize if I'm thinking something in my head, I'm in my head. And I like embodiment much better. Embodiment means it's your heart, it's your gut, it's more of your soul, right? And so the PQ lets me know when I'm in my head and I want to get out of my head. I really never want to be in my head. I always want to be in my embodiment. So what you do in PQ is when you realize you're in your head, you turn away from that immediately, and you do it by doing something very, very little. And when I mean little, I mean like rub your fingers together or close your eyes and feel your breathing, like the cold coming, in your breathing, or how it feels or what it sounds like, something so little that you have no choice but to get out of your head and think about what you're thinking about. And then all of a sudden you're not in your head anymore. So between the meditation and the PQ, it does well for me all day long. So I say everybody's different. You find different personalities, you find what works for you. That's what works for me. So yeah.
Very good. And thank you for telling about the PQ. Was that the thing I said it right? PQ. And mostly thank you for being so honest of saying it's not every day, because we all have some bad days that we doesn't do much than acknowledging ourselves to be that way. So I'm grateful for you mentioning that too. So I think you are the actually first one ever who be dishonest, not dishonest, but honest about it. So I'm very grateful for you to be that honest here. So and the best part with healing is when you're honest. It's pure honesty you heal. So thank you for bringing that up. Beside me, that was you two that bring it up, that we have those days. So thank you. Yeah. And what about the inner child healing? Have you done any inner child healing?
A little. And I took baby steps for inner child healing. Another thing I'll be honest for. That was very scary. That I found people in general, and I didn't really realize this as much until I got into coaching myself. But it's a very scary thing to work on yourself. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to keep yourself accountable. You don't want to go there. It's a darker place. And I did it for a long time. I'd rather be comfortable where I was and not as happy, because it was more important to me to be in a comfort zone. But I just got to the point where I wanted to be happier. I was willing to go through a storm or whatever I had to go through. So part of that is dealing with your inner child. And the first time for me was in coaching school. Like they want us to go through everything that we are talking with our clients about. You know, they want us to know what it feels like. And it was scary going through my inner child. I got a picture of me and I literally put it on my desk of when I probably had the hardest time. And there were a few in my life. I was always a loner. I never had a lot of friends. I was bullied. I had that whole kind of life, and you take that with you, whether you know it or not, and it stays in here. You don't get rid of it. So it's like you become that kind of person that you've grown from that kind of past. So it was very scary to go back to that because I knew that was going to happen. But for me, it was like when I was a tween and teenager, like here in the States, like when you're in junior high, whole lot of bullying, whole lot of name calling. I even had people that want to get physical with me. And so that's the picture I chose the hardest. And I looked at that picture every day. And what I learned was that made it okay was you kind of have you, right, who you are, and then your inner child is like another entity. It's like another person, if you will. You bring it out of you and it's another person, and you talk to that inner child saying, you can apologize. Let me tell you what I know now that I didn't know then. It's all okay. I'm going to help you. I'm going to heal you. I was kind of like a coach to my inner child. And I realized this isn't so bad. It doesn't have to be so scary. Right? I am getting very emotional just talking about it right now, but it is hard. It is. But give yourself the courage to go through that and be there for yourself. And when you're there for yourself, you're not alone. It's not because it's not you going back into that world that you can't escape. It's not that anymore. I'm here for you now. I know better. And once you realize that, even though you're in that world, it's not as scary because there is an out, so I've gotten better, but I know I have a long way to go because of other healers that I've been with. Like, I love horses and I love healing with horses. And I went to somebody that had 2 horses, and one of their horses like jumped at the chance to help me heal. And the woman went, "Whoa, we can't do this in one day. You have a lot to go through still," and I know that. I feel it. So I do it. It's baby steps. I'm all about baby steps. So you take baby steps. It's not so scary. I to anyone out there, I say just start it. Just take that first step and just start it and see where it goes from there. If you want out, get out, but be daring enough and want to get out of your comfort zone to grow enough and get to where you're always happy. Well, I shouldn't say always happy. We're always growing. We have our good and our bad days, but more good days than bad. So, I just say do it. It's worth it.
Thank you so much. I feel so honored to have you, so sensitive, beautiful soul, here with me today. Thank you so much for being so honest about your healing journey and everything you talked about now about the inner child healing. And I felt like, oh my God, I want to work with this woman. I want you to He
I
won.
find it helps. It definitely helps. I got this way more and more over time because I just felt that my clients liked it. And I'm like, oh, okay, my clients appreciate this. Okay, I have no problem being open, you know? So yeah, if it's what you want to hear, it has no effect on what they're there for me to help them with, because I'm further along. I know how to do already what they want to do. You know, we live in a world now where you don't necessarily have to go to college and have all of this schooling. Let's help each other no matter what, you know? And if I know how to do this and I can help you, you know, I used to feel that way. I used to work in theater, and one of my first theater jobs, I said, you know, as a hairdresser, I was crying one night because I thought, I don't really know how the director wants me to do this. You know, I don't really have the know-how, but it didn't matter because I have the talent and I did it. And the next day they said, beautiful, you did a beautiful job. You know, so that was a big learning curve for me. Just know what you know how to do and love it, and you can be there to help others. That's it.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
totally agree. Totally agree. And can I ask you now you have said so much good advice actually, but do you have any advice for someone new in this journey?
yeah, I do. The person I really have advice for is somebody that has some awareness already. Because if you don't have awareness in the beginning, you're not even aware that you want to do something. So if you have an awareness that you want to better yourself in some way, if you have an awareness of you want to get out of the space that you're in, bravo for starters, because it takes that awareness to be able to do anything, right? Yeah, you know. And once you have that awareness, hone in on what it is you want to do. What is it about your life? What part of life do you want to work on the most? You know, is it family? Is it your job? Is it friends, social? Is it just being happier in general? You're not happy in your life and you want to be happy. You know, you might not know where you want to be happy, but that's okay, right? Use that awareness for where you want to take that and what you want to work on, right? And I just want to put out there, everything is okay. Wherever you are, everything is okay, right? Just know where you are and you can grow from there. So have that awareness and know what you want to do with it. Try to hone in as much as you possibly can. If you've gotten to a place and you don't know anymore, that's great. Fine. Use that. Everything is okay. So that would be my advice.
Thank you so much, Jodi. Thank you. It has been such a great pleasure to have you. I'm so honored to have you on my show and share your wisdom and your sensitivity and your honesty. So thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.